Hello and welcome back to another episode of Uncut Civilization VI. We're picking up a few turns ahead of where we left off before, but this is such a beautiful place to continue from. We are about to start attacking the city of Charleston, and it is going to take a very, very good pounding. Now what we're going to do first is we're going to maneuver our great generals a little bit, put them on top of our unique units, so that now, because our unique units are both next to two great generals, they're getting plus 10 combat strength, and they're also getting plus 5 combat strength from Sun Tzu for a whopping total of plus 15 combat strength. So we're going to attack the city, and look at those walls melt. The damage, unprecedented. Very serious. Look at that. Look at that. The city of Charleston will be ours very shortly. Very shortly, so things are going well. We just have to play our cards right and continue to make the right decisions, and then we'll be able to take over America. So this is going to be a very war-centric episode. I mean, but it's fitting because we're playing a war-centric civilization. You know, and a cool thing about Alexander that I neglected, one of his unique abilities is that he does not accrue war weariness, which is, it sounds a little bit crazy, but it thematically it makes sense. I mean, you've got this guy who's all about fighting, so they wanted to incentivize him to continue the fight at all costs, and by not accumulating war weariness, you don't have to worry about it. You fight to your heart's content. If you win, you win, but if you lose, you lose. But you don't have to worry about your cities getting all pissy about it and saying, oh my god, we've been at war for 1,000 years. Is it ever going to stop? No, because we're Macedonia, and that's what we do. So unfortunately, though, we're still getting pelted by archers, and it's very frustrating. I understand why the higher difficulties increase the production amount and force the AI to build so many units, but it just gets a little bit gross after a point.
Everything has its limit. Iron ore cannot be educated into gold.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players.
Because if you take a look, pretty much every tile in the American Empire is a unit, and that's a bit absurd. That's kind of over the top, and it's a bit frustrating. But it's just something you got to deal with when you play this game on deity difficulty. The AI are just they're completely out of control when it comes to building units. They churn them out like it's a fucking factory, man. It's over the top. But what we can do here, I think we can actually take the city on this turn, but I'm not entirely sure if we have enough health to do so. Because I can pillage his farm. Well, it's gonna be my farm soon, so I don't really want to pillage it. This is weird, man. This is weird because my units are getting a bit bruised up, and they're surrounded by a significant number of archers. So if I attack and they don't take the city, then they're gonna die. So I'm gonna go ahead and pillage. I'm trying to be as intelligent as possible with this. So yeah, let's go with the safe option and dole out those promotions, and then in the following turn we'll take the city, no problem. Boom. Oh, he still has action points remaining after pillaging the farm, so that's pretty impressive. Oh, it's because of Sun Tzu. So Sun Tzu is giving him an additional movement point, and he already has 4 movement points from being a horseman, so boom, let's attack that city. And we did just finish researching our unique swordsman unit, which I'm not building yet. I'm going to start building it on the next turn, but what it does is the Gametempest, Macedonian unique melee unit that replaces the swordsman, plus 5 combat strength when besieging districts, and 50% additional support bonus. Now, I believe the support bonus is a bonus that you get when standing next to other units of the same type, but we'll have to check on that, but hopefully I'm right. But, oh, there's something I forgot to do. Hold on a second. Joshua, I got you. Boom. Okay, so I spelt this city name wrong, and I am correcting it. Hopefully I got it right this time. If I didn't, then fuck it. It's going to be wrong forever if I got it wrong at this point. But the important thing is that I tried, right? It's the effort to do it right that counts for something. So our unique unit is going to be great at besieging districts, which is pretty nice. I think because we are going on some pretty serious conquest, I think we'd want to have a unit that's a little bit stronger at attacking those walls. But I wonder, though, in terms of considering the metagame a little bit, if the unique horseman is better than the unique swordsman because of the benefits that it gets. It starts off with a promotion as soon as you build it. It gains bonuses from being adjacent to great generals. I guess if you have a great general, then the horseman may always be better because it's a bit more well-rounded. But if you don't have a great general, then maybe the swordsman and the horseman, they can kind of work together a little bit better. It's an interesting thing to think about. And we've lost... Oh, no, we didn't lose our unit, but he is taking... Ah, we might lose him. Ah, jeez, we're going to have to back off. My goodness. This is out of control, man. Yeah, it's interesting to think about the metagame and which units are truly the best units out of the different ones that we have to select from.
Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants.
Okay, so I've got an idea, and we're gonna be pretty heavy on the strategy today because how we play this is gonna be vitally important to whether we succeed or fail. So I don't want to distract myself too much with funny stories and ideas. So we're gonna attack Charleston one more time, and that should be enough to take the city. Yes, it is. Boom. We just got a inspiration towards feudalism because we took over a bunch of farms, so that's pretty nice. Keep the city? Of course we keep the city. We keep everything we conquer. But first, I'll pick my research. I'm gonna go for machinery because those crossbows are nice. But also, another cool thing about the Civ Improvements Patch is that it grants you a lot of unique buildings that weren't in the base game. The Caravanseries gives you +1 food for desert tiles worked on by by this city. But unfortunately, we don't have any desert cities, so that's not really going to be valuable to us. But the other unique building is the processing mill. This gives you +2 production and +2 gold, which is interesting. It's a nice, maybe something that you could build before you go for an industrial zone because you're upping the production in the city to a slightly lesser extent. So it's interesting. Interesting decisions to be made because of the Civ Improvements mod. So anyway, what the strategy is going to be now, we have Charleston. What we can do is we can start cranking out some missionaries, and we can take over or convert the city rather to our own, so that all of our units within Charleston will gain +10. So we can gain +10 combat strength while in a city that we own, and that's going to be very important because, as you can see, we need all the help we can get. There's too many frickin' units under America's control, and we're having a hard time. But thankfully, though, he's left a farm here for me to pillage, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So yeah, that little religious thing is going to prove to be very beneficial to us. That thing that we took a while back, you see, Defender of the Faith, that was originally a purely passive thing that we were doing, just trying to get a little bit of an edge in terms of, you know, trying to keep us safe. But now it is going to be something that we can use a little bit more offensively because America is now in our space. So technically, even though we're attacking him, we're defending our own faith, you know? So yeah, that's a nice little thing that we get to do. As for Charleston, whoops, did not mean to do that. As for Charleston, there's a lot of stuff to repair, so we're just going to go down the list and repair all of the stuff, and then we'll start building other stuff from it, turn it into a decent city instead of the pretty barren husk that it is currently. Now, the real question may not be the question of the day, But the really important question is, what do we focus our production on in our other cities, right? These are Riceland and Fish City. They are military-focused cities because they've got the barracks with our unique building in it, which I don't even remember what it's called. Somebody took, I think it was Artie Party that told me how to pronounce it. Not gonna happen. I can't do it again. I don't remember if I did it the first. I don't. Either way, I can't pronounce the unique fucking building. But the question now is, do we continue churning out military, or do we stick with what we have and hope that they don't die? Now, we can promote our warriors, but you know what? Oh, that's way too far away. Yeah, I think what we're going to try is we're going to promote our warriors into our unique swordsman unit. They look very cool. And hopefully we won't need too much more military, because I don't... It's a weird thing, right? And I feel like I'm making a bad decision by thinking about not producing more military, because the trick with Alexander is that every time he produces a military unit... Wait, let me go back and read it so I don't say anything wrong. Right, okay, so whenever I produce a military unit, I gain science equal to 25% of the unit's cost. So, should I just keep churning out military units until the end of days? Right? Is that what my strategy should be? And that seems like a good idea, because I don't have any campuses in my main cities, so they're not producing that extra bit of science. So maybe I need to be just, you know, making more troops. It's a weird thing. It feels weird. It feels a little bit strange. Yeah. All right. Let's build another military unit. I'm not gonna go crazy. I don't want to have too many. And looks like we finished production of our ancient walls in Windy Valley. We probably aren't going to need them, but there's no harm in having a little bit of extra protection. And what we're going to do is we're going to build a cemetery. That is another unique building from the Civ Improvements Patch. It gives us 4 extra faith per turn from that city. And then once that's finished, we're going to build a builder so we can make use of those. Actually, you know what? We should build the builder first. Build a builder. We'll build a builder, and then that builder can build some rice farms, and we'll build the cemetery first. It's weird. I usually don't look at civilization in such a tactical manner. It's usually not that. I usually don't need to get that tactical with Civ, but because there's so many units right now, every decision I make is very crucial, right? And I don't want to make the wrong choice and get a unit killed. It's not to the same degree as getting units killed in XCOM, for example, because, granted, I invested a little bit of production in trying to build these guys out, but it's not to the level of spending 20 minutes customizing a soldier so that he could have the perfect facial features and the perfect armor color and all that stuff. It's a little different in that regard. I think going for a promotion, though, is going to be the safest thing that we can do. And then going for another, I'm just going to promote my guys. You can rename units in Civ, but it'll never be as cool as renaming stuff in XCOM. There's just always going to be that extra coolness factor, and no. That extra coolness factor that you get from renaming soldiers and making custom soldiers in that game versus any other game, really. I don't know of any, besides MMORPGs where they have in-depth character creation stuff. There aren't any games that I know of that allow you to get this really deep investment into your soldiers and the units that you create like you can in XCOM. And we are going to lose this horseman unit. There's not really anything we can do about it besides just continuing to kill these fucking archers, man. It's out of control. It's out of control. And what makes it even worse is America's units get bonuses for fighting on his home continent, which is annoying because everything is on his home continent. It's like, why wouldn't it be on his home continent? But you know what, though? I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna complain. It's gonna take a little while for our missionaries to get over to Charleston, which is terribly unfortunate because we need them ASAP, and that means right now. But we'll have to do what we'll have to do without them for the time being. Oh boy, oh boy. But you know what though, as we continue to wage this war, what we're gonna do, because it's been about 20 minutes, we're gonna take a little break. I'm gonna continue banging my head against this, and hopefully make a dent in the American forces. And by the way, we're at war with Germany because reasons. So we're kind of fighting a battle on two fronts at the moment. But either way, we're gonna take a little break, and when we come back, I'll have made some headway with this, and we'll keep it going, man. We'll keep it going. So as always, the name of the game is Civilization 6. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. Thank you for watching. We're gonna take over the fucking world, and I'll see you next time.